Tensions rising between Thailand and Cambodia, with deadly clashes breaking out along the country's disputed border.
Clashes broke out. 12 people were killed, and just like that, a once-forgotten sleepy border resembled a war zone.
Thailand has closed all its checkpoints into Cambodia after fighting broke out between Thai and Cambodian troops along a disputed section of the border.
Could Cambodia and Thailand be heading for a full-fledged war? As I travel across Southeast Asia, a major crisis erupted between the two countries over a long-standing border dispute. But while shots were fired and nationalist sentiment surged, a full-scale conflict was narrowly averted, at least for now. However, the fallout continues, with the Thai Prime Minister now suspended and issue unlikely to be resolved anytime soon. The question will remain a serious source of tension between the two countries. So what exactly lay behind the crisis, and why does this old territorial conflict still have such a profound impact? Hello, my name is Abhishek and I make travel videos. Since I'm going to be traveling to Cambodia from Thailand in a few days, I would like to inform about the recent skirmish that has erupted between both the nations as of July 24, 2025. There have been 11 casualties. Hopefully, this was not going to disrupt my travel plans. It's a fundamental principle of modern international relations that countries respect each other's border. However, boundaries nevertheless remains a significant source of tension. Sometimes a country yearns for land lost in the past war. At other times, it's about territory claimed but never conquered. Then there are borders created by colonial power, often drawn with little regards for the inhabitants or cultural significance. These boundaries can become a deep source of national resentment. But while we typically associate these issues with Africa, where colonialism often led to particularly artificial boundaries, these type of border disputes can be in fact found around the world. A notable example from Asia is the conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. The Kingdom of Thailand and the Kingdom of Cambodia lies in Southeast Asia, covering around 500,000 kilometers and home to nearly 70 million people. Thailand is a far larger and a more populous of the two. By contrast, Cambodia, with an area of approximately 181,000 square kilometers and a population of 17 million, is significantly smaller. Although the countries are predominantly Buddhist and share many cultural and social connections, these strong ties have not always led to political harmony, particularly because their 800 kilometers or 500 miles border runs through the religious and historical site that both sides claims as their own. The origin of the current border dispute lies in the complex and overlapping history of the two nations. Historically, the Khmer Empire, centered on Angkor in what is now northern Cambodia, was a dominant regional power. At its peak in the 12th century, it extended far into what is now Thailand. However, as it declined, Thailand, then known as Siam, emerged as a powerful new state, gradually taking over Khmer territories. By the 19th century, Thailand had become an important kingdom. More to the point, it had avoided the European colonization that has affected the rest of Southeast Asia, including neighboring Cambodia. However, this meant that it was now squeezed between two major imperial powers, British to the west and France to the east. Facing pressure from both sides, Thailand was forced to make a series of territorial concessions to safeguard its sovereignty. One of the most controversial of this was the 1907 Franco-Siam Treaty, which saw Thailand transfer several territories to Cambodia, which was then part of the French Indochina. This included the area around Preah Vihear, a striking cliff-top temple complex situated on the Dong Rek mountain range. The deep resentment caused by the loss of territory would come to the head several decades later with the start of the Second World War. Seeing a chance to retake its lost territory, Thailand allied with Imperial Japan and seized control of parts of western Cambodia. However, the gains were short-lived. After the Allies won the war, France retook control over Indochina and Thailand was forced to return the territories it occupied. Nevertheless, the border issue was not forgotten, as became clear a few years later when Cambodia gained independence from France in 1953. As the border left by the colonial power remained unchanged and unresolved, The dispute over Preah Vihear escalated when Thailand seized control of the temple and the surrounding areas. In response, Cambodia took the matter to the International Court of Justice years later in 1962. The court issued the ruling. But while it granted Cambodia control over the temple site, it was rather less clear about who held sovereignty over the surrounding region. In the year that followed, tensions continued to simmer as many Thais saw the ruling as a bitter defeat. However, against the backdrop of regional geopolitics, including the Vietnam War, the border would come to assume as in greater significance. In the late 1960s, Cambodia descended into a bitter and brutal civil war. This culminated in 1975 when the communist Khmer Rouge seized power from the US-backed military government, marking the start of the genocidal regime that would kill almost 2 million Cambodians. However, this came to an end in late 1978 when Communist Vietnam invaded Cambodia, ousting the Khmer Rouge and occupying the country. As a result, the border between Thailand and Cambodia now became a Cold War frontline as the United States, China, and the Southeast Asian countries backed the anti-Vietnamese resistance, including remnants of Khmer Rouge that were operating out of bases along the Thai-Cambodia border. And although Vietnam eventually withdrew in 1989 and the 1991 Paris Peace Accord ended the conflict in Cambodia, establishing a UN administration that oversaw the transition to constitutional monarchy, the border remained a sensitive matter. Despite the strained past, by the turn of the millennium, things appeared to be changing for the better. In 2000, Cambodia and Thailand signed a memorandum of understanding outlining a peaceful settlement of the dispute through a land boundary commission. From there, relations improved dramatically as the Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen formed a close relationship with the Thai counterpart Thaksin Shinawatra. Sharing a similar populist style, relationship was further strengthened in 2006 when Thaksin Shinawatra was ousted by a military coup. Having gone into exile, he now spent time in Cambodia where he enjoyed a close relationship with Hun Sen and even served as an economic advisor to the Cambodian government, much to the anger of the new Thai administration. Meanwhile, border tension re-emerged again in 2008 when, despite Thai objection, Cambodia successfully lobbied UNESCO to designate Preah Vihear Temple a World Heritage Site, sparking tension that continued until 2011. The International Court of Justice was asked to clarify its earlier 1962 ruling. However, while it eventually ruled in 2013 that Cambodia's sovereignty extended over the area around the temple, the issue remained a source of bilateral tensions. But despite this ongoing territorial dispute, relationship between the two countries improved and strengthened over the next decade. This was highlighted in Feb 2024 when the Cambodian Prime Minister visited Thailand and the two countries signed a strategic partnership. As part of this, they decided to withdraw their forces to agreed upon position along the border. And it's against this backdrop that the most recent tensions emerged between the two countries. I hope that you're finding this insightful. If so, please do give it a like and perhaps subscribe to my channel. Now, back to the video. The crisis was sparked on the 28th of May when Cambodian and Thai military patrol came across each other along the disputed border. According to reports, the two groups opened fire on each other, leading to the death of a Cambodian soldier. However, while the heads of the two armed forces initially attempted to ease tension by meeting directly to discuss the issue, the broader political blame game quickly escalated. As nationalist settlement grew in both countries, they increased their military presence around the border. At the same time, they imposed tit-for-tat sanctions, and Thailand even banned all land crossings into Cambodia. Meanwhile, the incident has also sparked a political crisis in Thailand, where the young Prime Minister, Paethan Shinawatra, the younger daughter of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, has been suspended. The root of the problem is a phone call that she made to try to ease tension by calling her father's old friend Hun Sen, who is now the president of the Cambodian Senate and widely regarded as Cambodia's most influential political figure. However, citing national interest, Hun Sen later leaked the recording of the call. Embarrassingly for the 38-year-old Thai Prime Minister, during the conversation, She took what many regarded as an excessively differential tone, referring to Hun Sen as uncle. In addition, she also called the Thai military her opponent and promised to take care of Cambodia's demand. The recording sparked outrage in Thailand and led to serious political repercussions. In addition to widespread protests, a key coalition partner withdrew from the government. Then on the 1st of July, the Thai Constitutional Court unanimously suspended the Prime Minister pending all investigation into her role in undermining national sovereignty. All the while, tensions persisted between the two countries. Although a full-scale war seemed extremely unlikely, especially as Thailand's overwhelming military strength ensured that Cambodia will shy away from any large-scale confrontation, further low-level skirmishes are more than possible. And the danger with small-scale skirmishes is that they can easily escalate into a major conflict. Even if there isn't a desire to fight, wars can happen. But even if it doesn't come to that, the issue looks likely to remain a serious and destabilizing political problem, particularly as there is little immediate sign of solution. While Cambodia has again referred the matter to the International Court of Justice, Thailand has stated that it doesn't recognize the court's jurisdiction and insisted that the issue must be resolved through bilateral mechanism. Furthermore, the recent tensions are likely to undermine efforts to address other issues such as a long-standing maritime border dispute. Domestic political implications aside, the dispute between Cambodia and Thailand is a good example of how colonial-era decisions can still influence international relationships. As it's shown, borders drawn at the height of imperial expansion can still cause conflicts many decades after the colonial power has departed. But there's an even more serious issue to play. At the time when the old rule of international relationships are breaking down and more countries are questioning long-standing border, the crisis between Thailand and Cambodia serves as a timely reminder that border conflicts can still reignite violence, often with little warning and extremely with serious domestic and international consequence. Thanks for watching this video. In the next video, I'm going to be traveling from Thailand to Cambodia, so stay tuned.